my cellular data here.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. This is the first time I've been using Zoom in a minute, and it's been one hell of a couple days. I got 3 midterms today, so I've just been on everything. So I also had to do this project, so I was like, all right, let me see how we can fit this in.
Well, you're good. We're good here. So, all right. And when you're ready, man.
All right. Well, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Same here. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff, same old stuff. Stuff dropping in a good way. Stuff dropping with mistakes. Like we just got our restock for the Urban Flex cargo joggers.
Yeah.
And everyone's been like, when is this coming? When is this? It's our 6th restock. We've sold out 5 times now.
I was actually totally gonna ask about the cargo joggers because I was gonna ask about like trends and things that you've seen, and like cargo joggers got huge in the last year. I was like, is that something you guys like are gonna continue doing? Like see these trends and try and go with them?
That seems to be like our number one selling product because I market that. One of your questions was about marketing strategies, and if you pay attention to what your surroundings, you can see what trends and what you can create a trend in. It's a missing opportunity. So I market those because I work in healthcare in my day job. So I market them as a scrub hybrid jogger.
Oh, that's smart.
So I added a level of versatility. So it's not just it's not just travel. It's not just hiking and walking. It's also perfect for scrubs.
Yeah.
So that's been my number one client base is actually the healthcare industry.
That's actually awesome. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your business. When did you start? What was your motivation? And then why? Like, did you start the business?
So we started a little over a year ago in 2023. Why we started was really I noticed a gap in the connection between what people wear and does it represent what they want it to represent, or is it just wearing it to wear it?
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, I wanted to make sure that people had some representation of what they were wearing. Like when we wear stuff, when I wear things, it's primarily to represent my journey. And so that's where we picked Anubis. Anubis is a deity, an Egyptian deity, god, whatever we call it, who represents transformation. I mean, his actual definition is he represents the transition from death to the afterlife. And he protects that, right? It's the protection of your soul from one place to the next, one transformation to the next.
Gotcha.
So he also represents basically guidance, transformation, going from one place to the next. And so we use it to represent our various stages of our fitness journeys. When a person decides, I want to do something different in my life, and this represents that transformation, regardless of where you're at in your journey. If you're in the beginning, in the middle, or you are been doing it for a long time and you have more goals to meet.
That's actually awesome. I had no idea that was a thing with your business. That's really cool, actually. That's really cool. All right. What forms your business? Is it like a sole proprietorship, LLC?
Oh yeah, we're a sole proprietorship.
Makes sense.
The reason why we do that is basically it's the easiest. And when you're new in a small business, you don't really need all the big parts of like an LLC and things like that. It's just not necessary. You're spending money you don't need and probably don't have.
Yeah.
And there's a lot less regulation and what am I trying to say? There's less regulation. So you have a lot more control and freedom to do what you want. In taxing, when you have your taxes, it's a lot easier for that too.
Yeah. And I think it makes sense, especially with your business. I don't think you would need an LLC because a lot of reasons why people make one is so that the liability is on like the separate entity, so people can't come after you. There's not a lot of liability when it comes to like a clothing brand. Like you're fine.
Right. Exactly. That was the other thing. I have a lot of friends that have businesses and they all have LLCs, but they also hold a lot of possible liabilities.
Yeah, exactly. So
they want to keep the separation between their personal income in life and their business.
Yeah.
Mine, I mean, there's no real liability there.
Yeah, no. It's smart. That's smart. All right. So I think we kind of touched on this. Who are your key customers? You got, of course, your gym goers, and then, which is pretty awesome, people in the medical community. I think that's a really cool niche to be in because, people with, in the medical community, I'm sure are very health conscious. And so they can use it for both. They can be like, okay, I'm getting something for the gym, but I can also wear this to work, and it also looks cool. Like, you got some good looking clothes. So it's like, that's awesome.
We put a lot into this. It's, just to stick to your question. My niche is about the people that are going to the gym.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Fitness is really a more broad philosophy. Fitness and health are more broad than going to your local gym.
Yeah.
Some people, their fitness journey requires them to walk a certain amount of steps a day.
Yeah.
Some people like to be triathletes. Some people hike. Some people, it takes forms in various ways. And so we focus on whoever you are in that place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My client base would be anybody that's looking to change their self, whether that's the inside or their physical outside, which usually kind of goes hand in hand.
Got you. What's like one of the marketing tips that you would give me for just anything? Like, what have you learned with marketing? Because I know that's been a huge thing with you.
Well, because of the advances in technology nowadays, there's a lot to be said about social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media plays a large role in my marketing strategy because I was an influencer before.
Yeah.
I also knew primarily how that all works. So if I had to give you a strategy, I would tell you to take advantage of social media and people's need to see things in action. So it depends on what you're selling.
Yeah.
But first, I would take advantage of your social media platforms,
Mm-hmm.
all of them, if you can. And then if I had to put it on a hierarchy of importance or priority, then I would get into your Google marketing and things like that. Because if you're not really offering a service like a roofer or a landscaper or things like that, or travel agency, things like that, then Google really doesn't have the priority you think it does.
Yeah.
Social media is like your number one way to go.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, especially with like scalability and everything for, this certain product. All right, let's see. We'll go with how do you price your product based on like your competitors? Because I know there's a lot of huge names. You got a lot of huge names in like gym apparel right now. So how do you price it compared to them?
How did I price it, or how did I come up with it?
I mean, it's like how do you price it based on your competition, or is it like off of profit margins?
It's kind of a mixture of both.
Yeah.
There is an element to having your profit margin be realistic.
Yeah.
Now, comparing it to my competitors, the larger they are, the more they are marketing based off of their brand recognition.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention and talk to customers, you'll see a lot of people that buy into the high brand name situation start realizing there's a large degradation of their quality.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've gotten so big that they can cut profit. Making profit by cutting their expenses. And so they make those small changes, like in this industry, $3 to $4. It's not a big deal to me because my business isn't that huge.
Yeah.
But when you're selling 10, 15, 20, 30,000 products, items, that's millions of dollars in the bank you can save by cutting costs, by like cheaper zippers, things like that.
Yeah, and then people still buy because of the name.
I do compare the two. So I set my profit margins based on what I'm selling, what it cost me, and what I know they're getting.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a little more expensive, but I also know that when the customer has this in their hand and they wear it, they'll know every second they're wearing it, this was worth every penny.
Yeah, absolutely. I
base it on my reviews and customers' information. Now, if I'm making a shirt that's meant to like mow your lawn but represent our brand, I'm gonna base my prices on that.
Yeah.
So kind of a mixture of both.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Let's see. Who are your competitors? And let's see. This is just not gonna be part of it, but it's like, do you collaborate with any competitors? I don't think so.
Actually not competitors, but I do have some potential collaborations in the works with people that accessories. Like I have a couple people that I know that make custom sunglasses.
Oh.
Now, we don't really have a cross-branding issue.
Mm-hmm.
My brand will promote their brand because it's an all-together look. So yes and no, but primarily no, I don't collaborate with competitors because there's really no reason to do that.
Yeah, no.
My competitors would be your Gymshark, your Lululemon, ASRV, Tailored Athlete, and Buff Bunny. Those would be my top competitors. One would say, do you compete with Young LA? And although we are both creating products for people to wear in a gym, our styles are so different. It doesn't.
Yeah.
People who like your stuff aren't gonna like mine, and people who like my stuff probably won't like yours because you're all about the street style baggy stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm all about the sophisticated.
Yeah. Yeah. With them, I feel it's a lot more like lifestyle stuff that they're switching to, which is interesting. Right. It was really interesting. Let's see. So we kind of talked about it. The type of advertising you choose is really like social media based, which that makes a lot of sense with this kind of stuff. Let's see. So do you own your own website? Like, do you have a website presence and all that?
Yeah, I do. I actually have a third-party business company that helps me with that.
Yeah.
As of lately. SEO marketing, your SEO is extremely important. That is where Google does come into play a little bit.
Gotcha.
Because SEO has now branched. You know what SEO is?
No, actually don't. Good.
So, SEO it means search engine optimization.
Okay, yeah.
So SEO is basically your credibility in the world of digital marketing at all. Like it doesn't matter. It used to just be the internet, like Google, and now it has become morphed into anything electronic. So SEO also has a lot to do with your social media presence, how much Google will put your stuff in front of people, also how much Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, anything and everything digital.
Okay.
So your SEO marketing is important. So I have a company that helps me with that. And then you have to pay attention to like the words you use. It didn't used to matter, but the words you use in your advertising play a major role in whether Google or anybody even shows it to anyone.
Yeah, for like the algorithm and everything.
Really care.
Sorry, for like the algorithm and everything, it's like the words really matter for it?
Right. It's very important that you pay attention to those types of things. Okay, so sorry, I didn't want to lose track of your question.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, see, obviously, I know you have a website. It's just for that. I mean, I bought off of it. It's like.
So, what I was going to say about the website. Sorry,
you're good.
Yes, I do have a website. It's been out since the business started, and you have to pay attention to the ranking of that website. And it's called there's a name for it where it ranks you.
Okay.
Authority score. That's what it's called. So there's so many fitness industry or apparel brands that have websites. You want to be the authority. So if someone goes to joggers, someone's going to be at the top and someone's going to be at the bottom. That's determined by your popularity, which is based on your SEO and things like that. Okay. So I have a website. It's pretty cool.
It's cool.
Built it all by myself.
Solid. So when you started up, how were you financing your business? Was it just all like out of pocket, or did you have any like potential investors or anything? All you?
All out of pocket.
I respect that. Keep it all yours. That's awesome. Let's see. This is a silly one. Not really silly, but have you ever run into any problems with the law?
Yeah.
What happened?
It was not a big deal. It was actually one of my competitors. So there's different things that happen when you have a item created. Sometimes the people who make them will send you pre-done model shots because some of us don't have models. And when I was first starting out, I had an item that I was making that I didn't realize the factory has made for someone else.
Oh.
So basically you say to the factory, hey, these are some ideas I have. This is something I like. This is what, and they'll say to you sometimes, hey, we have something really similar to that. Would you like to try this? And of course, I think they know better. Well, what they were doing is selling me a template that was already made for another company.
Yeah.
So I got a note immediately. Cease and desist. What's it called? A takedown, immediate takedown note.
That's crazy. Okay, so you always gotta be your own design, which makes sense. This is gonna be this isn't on the actual sample questions, but this is just a question for you. Have you in any way used like AI or anything to help you along with this process?
A lot,
really.
AI has taken. Yes, I have.
Yeah. Like what forms have you used?
I've used. Now I will add to this when I'm done answering because you have to understand how it works.
Yeah.
But I've used ChatGPT for things like your product information. I've used it for blog posts. I've used ChatGPT for a lot of anything that requires writing. I've used AI imagery to correct or fix backgrounds of model shots. Sometimes yes, I've used it in various ways.
That's really interesting.
How can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good for you and anybody that decides to do it because everything's advancing like at light speed.
Yeah.
So when it comes to SEO, I'm just learning this from the company that's helping me with my stuff. They pay attention to that. So if you use AI to help you write something, anything, don't use it cut and paste.
Yeah.
Do not do that. Because a robot knows when a robot's talking. Apparently.
Yeah.
And so what I would suggest is if you're going to use it for anything writing-wise, use it as your foundation or your template of like an idea. Take whatever they give you and write it again in your own words. You should have what's called a brand voice anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So a brand voice is how you talk. It's like people can read it and go, oh, that sounds like something Lululemon. It's just, it has to be your own. So that's for as far as the writing. As far as the imagery goes, you can use it as long as your focal point, like the model or the products and everything, is yours.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll help you with like backgrounds and things like that. So just be cautious if you do that.
Gotcha.